welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie and you're with Book for Romance. And today we are going to talk about my TBR for FaRoFeb. So this is for Fantasy Romance February. It is here. I am so excited. Oh my gosh, you guys. A whole month of fantasy romance. Let's just take a minute to just applaud that. Like, honestly, like, I am so excited for fantasy romance to get a month and someone's actually doing something with that. So I'm so excited for that. So I had stopped my reading plans. I have adjusted things and now I have made a month for fantasy romance and I am so excited about it, guys. And I have my list here. I'm ready to tell you what I'm reading for the month of February. But of course, before we get into that, I've got news. And I figured you guys might be interested in this news if you guys are in the fantasy world element. And it's about this book, Caraval. I don't know, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably heard already. If you have not read it, Caraval, it's by Stephanie Garber and it is phenomenal. I love it. It's great. It literally got me in. Like, it was the books after I read Dystopian, and this kind of got me into fantasy romance. This was my book. That's probably why it's always going to hold a special place in my heart. But yes, she is doing a spin-off. Now, she's not calling it a spin-off. She's calling it a brand new series. I'm not going to even tell you what it's about, but whoever has read this series is going to be very excited. You need to head over to Stephanie Garber's Instagram page or anywhere on Goodreads for that matter and see about it. I think it's called Once Upon a... I don't know exactly, but I'm going to put it right here. And this is the book that's coming out that she said it's really dropping in September. So any of you Caraval fans, I wanted to throw that out there before I began this. Also, you guys, just to put it out there, I am wearing my fantasy shirt. Yes, I'm wearing my fantasy shirt. It's from A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it says, the quickest way to a man's heart is through the fourth and fifth ribs. Amarin, Court of Thorns and Roses. So yes, that is my favorite so far. I mean, it's hard to say because Kiss of Deception is up there first, but A Court of Thorns and Roses is definitely up there for Sarah J. Maas, and absolutely adore her. I think she's great. So yeah, but let's get into my TBR because that's why you guys are here, to see my FaRoFeb TBR. I'm sorry it's taken a few days to get it up, but it's up, it's here. I'm so excited. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, I think the first one we are gonna kick into is, I'm gonna scoot over just a little bit so you guys can see it. It's Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. Now, this book has been on my TBR for a while now. And I feel bad saying that because I've been meaning to get to it and now it is time. It is literally gonna be my first read for FaRoFeb and I'm very excited about it. Just a little snippet of it because I do have a long list. I'm just going to give you a quick snippet of each one, guys, and then kind of move on. If you are interested in them, please check them out. Just to give you a little snippet of Wolf Gone Wild, it is about our main hero who is a wolf, and for some reason he cannot shift. Like, he's been stuck, and his inner wolf is taunting him. Well, one day he rolls into a bar and he meets our main heroine, and our main heroine, ever since I'm assuming from birth, has been warned against interacting and being involved with wolves. But unfortunately for her, things happen and boom, boom, boom. And now we have Wolf Gone Wild. So I'm really excited to get into it. The description sounds amazing. I know I cut a few things out of the description, so please take a look at it, but it sounds really good. Then I'm definitely gonna dive into the next one. It's Don't Hex and Drive. So I'm gonna read these two for the start, and I'm thinking the third one just released its cover. Let me get that for you real quick. Yeah, and then this is the third one, Witches Get Stitches. Like, that's so cute. So I'm really excited. It sounds like a cute little fluffy kind of read a little bit from what I've been reading from like the other people's reviews on it, but it sounds like it's a paranormal fantasy romance with witches, magic, werewolves. You also have shape shifters and vampires. So you're getting a little bit of everything. I'm really excited to dive into that. So that is the first thing on my list. Second thing on my list is Legendborn. Now, I told you guys I was gonna read this for January. I know, I told you that, guys, this, but what happened was since this was coming up for FaRoFeb, I did take some of my January reads and just scoot them back 1 month. So I figured I will kick into this because let me tell you right now, 5-star prediction right here. Like, I feel like, you know when you get that feeling of a book and you're like, I feel like this is gonna be a 5-star? That is this one for me. This is gonna be a 5-star. I already have that prediction. So yes, I'm very excited to kick into this. I mean, just to give you like a little snippet of Legendborn, it's about a girl named Bree, and Bree has had a really traumatic past. I think her mother had been murdered, and she ends up being sent to this school. Well, while at this school, she ends up seeing something she shouldn't see, and a young mage named Merlin tries to wipe her memories, but unfortunately for her, her memories do not get wiped out, and she slowly learns that there is a society called Legendborns, and the story probably picks up from there. That's what I read in the description, so if you want to kick in further to this book, I highly recommend you do. I really cannot wait to kick into it. I have a feeling, you guys, okay, you wait. Look at my Goodreads, see me on Instagram. If I start raving about this book, or even see me on YouTube, if I start raving about this book, you'll know that the prediction was correct. Moving on. Okay, so next, I'm holding up A Curse So Dark and Lonely because it's the book I have, but we really are going to be kicking into the third one, and it is A Vow So Bold and Beautiful, I think is what it's called. So don't quote me on that, it's right here. And it's by Bridget Kramer, I think is how you say your last name. And I can't get into this book because this is book 3. I've waited 3 whole years for this book. I think it was 3 years, but for it to be completed, and now this series is complete. This is the last one. But the first one, you guys, if you guys want a recommendation for FaRoFeb, this is your book. It's A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And it's got everything. It's got your curse. It's got the female heroine who has, I think it was cerebral palsy, which is just, it just makes her character like that much more. So it's got a disability rep in it. It's got so much going on in it just besides the romance, and the romance is fabulous too. So you guys, this is a really great book to kick into if you want to, but I cannot wait to get into book 3. Oh my goodness. So that would be the one, another read that I'm tackling for this. So next, you guys, this isn't a shocker. This is not a shocker to anybody. Anybody who knows me on my Instagram page, sees me on lives. Occasionally, I talk about her on some of my fantasy videos. And it is Sarah J. Maas. Now, this is not her new book. Nobody has a physical copy of her new book yet. But her new book releases on February 13th. Let me check. Hold on a second. February 16th. Sorry, I was 3 days off. I'm so excited. I'm like, let's move it along. So we are getting A Court of Silver Flames. So good. Okay, you guys. So I know you guys don't, if you have not read the series, this is, I don't even want to tell you about this book because if you haven't read the series, I don't want to wreck it for you, but I will tell you this is Cassian and Nesta's story. So if you guys know who I'm talking about, this is their story. There's been controversy with the cover, and I understand that, but really, let's be honest, Sarah can put anything on her cover and I'd still read it because I am one of her biggest fans. So she literally can put maybe like a trash bag on there and I'd still read it. Honestly, I would. I'm that person. If I love an author, like for their writing and for like how much it entertains me, they will get so many passes. So yes, so this is the new one. I'm very excited about it. I'm very hyped, hence why I'm wearing this shirt. Because, and then also for FaRoFeb, I will be going back through A Court of Thorns and Roses, the whole series, the ACOTAR series, and I will be like reading my favorite parts. So I feel like I sometimes do that. I don't know. Do you guys do that? Do you ever like go back through a book and not read the whole thing? Because reading the whole thing, it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. But like read your favorite parts. Like there's favorite, like I know page this and I'll read that part. I do that a lot with my favorites. So yeah, it kind of, and then it helps me kind of remember the stories and like remember what I'm going into, because even though this is a spin-off series, a lot of stuff from the first series will be in this book. So I highly recommend reading the first series before you kick into this if you're planning to read Sarah J. Maas. Moving on to the next one. Okay, for the next one, guys, I need your help. And I need your help to tell me if I should kick into this one. Now, this is Roar, and I've already read Roar. I've already read this. But book 3 to this series does not come out till July, what is it? I think it was July 6th. Let me check that real fast. Okay, hold on. July 6th, yes. So the new one comes out July 6th, and I'm wondering, because I have not read the second one, which is Rage. I have it right up there. So I'm wondering for this, should I read Roar again and Rage, knowing that in July I have to wait for the third one. Sometimes I wait till like the month of to read all of them. So put in the comments below if I should add Roar and Rage to my TBR, because I'm thinking I should, but I don't know, like, should I wait till the release? But if you guys want to look at Roar, Roar is really great. It's about our main heroine who is, I don't know if she's a queen or princess. Okay, I'm not sure if she's a queen or princess right now. Like, it's been a while since I've read this, so I'm gonna give you the best synopsis I can at this point. And it's about her and her powers. Every queen has been able to like manage the storms and protect their people, but unfortunately for her, her powers had not developed. So she decided to create an alliance with a prince to strengthen her people's position. But unfortunately for her, she starts to learn things about this so-called prince. So she ends up going to this black market area or something like this, where like all these forbidden vendors, and she ends up finding that the storms are like bottled up, and she's learning that you don't have to possess these powers to be powerful. You can actually buy the storms from the black market. So she's learning that as she goes on, like where the like things are unfolding, and she ends up running to another storm catcher, and the storm catcher kind of opens her eyes to certain things, and it progresses from there. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. If you know anything about Cora Carmack, she is awesome. She writes a really good mafia series, which is awesome, but yes. And then she also writes in a contemporary romance series. So this is her fantasy romance, and you know, she's good. She knows how to write romance, and I am here for it. So yes, check this out for sure. Okay, so the next one on the list for me is Queen of Empire by H.R. Moore. And I don't know a ton about this, guys. I really don't. Like, I guess the best way to describe this to you is going to be high fantasy in kind of a contemporary setting is probably the best way to go to describe this one. It sounds like it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be good, but it looks like it looks a little complex. So I'm kind of really intrigued to dig into it. You have our main heroine, and she is like the top person to defeat. She's won every challenge she's been put up against, and a new guy comes into town, and he's very mysterious, and unfortunately while he's here, the main person in power ends up being killed. So then that has a chain of events, and then after that happens, there's things that happen to where our main heroine is put to a number of tests. So that's what I'm getting from this. I'm really intrigued, and I'm very excited to kick into it. There's 3 in the trilogy, and I just can't wait. I mean, I'm a cover buyer, and look at this cover. Isn't this not an amazing cover to you? Like, so good. I cannot wait to dig into it. And yes, I am very excited for this one. Moving on to the next one. Okay, the next one I'm going to read is Famine by Laura Thalassic. And here's the thing. This is book 3, you guys. This is book 3 in the Four Horsemen trilogy, and I am here for it, you guys. Literally each story is different because it's literally, I mean, I won't ruin it if I tell you about famine because you're literally getting a new story with each one, but it's about the four horsemen of the apocalypse and the end of the world, and each horseman is coming down to wipe out the world, to kind of like start anew. So the first book's about pestilence, the second one was about war, and the third one is about famine, and I'm really excited to kick into this one. The first one I really enjoyed. The second one was good, but not as good as the first one, and then I really want to give the third one a shot. It looks really good. It's got really good reviews on it, and I really can't wait to dig into another one of her men. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited about this one. This one's gonna be really good. And each one of them have been so like hard. I really like a hard hero and is a little darker. I do like those heroes a lot. So this one is gonna be very intriguing for me. Moving on to the next one. Okay, so the next one I'm holding up this book. I've already read it. It's The Last Nazar by Kirsten Cicerelli. And this is not the one I'll be reading because I've already read this one. I've read book 1 and book 2, but book 3 has been out for a few years now, and I'm like, it's time to get to it. And this is what I'm reading, The Sky Weaver. And you know what? I feel like I really can't tell you a lot about Sky Weaver because, again, it's number 3 in the series. I feel like this year is a lot of like wrapping up series for me, and that's good. Like, it's time to like put them away, put them to rest, see where it went, and see where it ranks in my setting for overall series. So yes, I want to do the Sky Weaver. It is about the queen. I will not tell you more than that. Also, I wanted to add in that for the Sky Weaver, that is an FF romance, and I cannot wait for it. It's gonna be so good. But the first one, as it is in my thumbnail, it is amazing. I really did like The Last Nazar so much. It is about a girl who tries to hunt down dragons. And let me just read the front. It says, a forbidden love, a kingdom at war, and a secret that will change everything. I mean, this one, it was just so good. I loved it. I feel like this is one that is very underhyped. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why it's underhyped, but it is. I mean, you have your main heroine and a part of her face is completely scarred. And it's just really good. It just shows the struggles of like what it means to be female in this society of like, she's not allowed to touch men. Men aren't allowed to touch her. Like, it's really interesting. The whole thing is really, really good. I really enjoyed this. I highly recommend it. So yeah, so that would be number 3, The Sky Weaver, that I will be kicking into. Next one I have is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and I'm really excited because, you guys, this one is supposedly it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling. So that is what I've gotten from people that have been describing this book as like a form of a Romeo and Juliet retelling. Also, it's high fantasy, and then it's also kind of like an historical fantasy, which I am so here for. Okay, if anybody knows me really well, they know I love my historical romances. They know I love fantasy romances. When you combine the two to make an historical romance fantasy, what? My mind is just blown. It's just blown. So I'm really excited to dig into this one. I don't know a lot about it. I'm sorry. I wish I did. But yes, I just know that it is, because for me, it checked all the boxes. So I felt like I didn't need to go more into it. I just am going to read it as is. So it has an historical romance retelling fantasy. Like that right there. Those are all my boxes. I'm trying to think right now if there's any other boxes you need to check. So this one is, I feel like, okay, I've been getting like some people who've really loved it and some people that have said it's okay. So it's kind of like gonna sit. I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what this one's about. Yeah, I mean, like, just, and I'm a cover reader. Look at this cover. Is it not just gorgeous? It's just a gorgeous cover. And then I think I got, if you guys want to see, I got the Crate edition. So just to show you guys, that's what it looks like for the Crate edition. And then here's the inside cover of them on the street. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, goodness, it's just so beautiful. I mean, just the graphics alone and everything, I'm here for it. I cannot wait to kick into this one. So yeah, that one is going to be really, I just can't wait. That's going to be a good one. So the last one I want to tell you guys about, because let's be honest, this one has something coming up on Netflix, and I just had to put it in there just as something I want to read. It's something that I know everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, she's already read that. But I'm like, I just wanted to read it and throw it in there in case you have not read it yet. And that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And yes, this is going to be a reread for me. So Six of Crows, I mean, seriously, this is phenomenal. You've got a heist. You've got villains that are good guys. You know, like you've got like this whole setting. This book is so good. It is still, I'm trying to think, it's still on my top, like, I'd have to say top 5. Top 5 for fantasy. Now, I consider it fantasy romance because there are a couple romances that go into the story. So I absolutely adored this. You've got your 6 people in this, and you're going on a heist. Like literally, that's all I needed to know. Like literally, I stopped there. Like I know it's a heist. You've got your 6, and there's 6 people. One is a convict, one's a sharpshooter, one's a runaway, you've got a spy, a heart renderer, and a thief. Like, there you go. Like, it literally will check all the boxes for a fantasy that you'll just absolutely adore, and the romance I think is really sweet. So definitely check this out. I really enjoyed it. And news on this, there is news. Shadow and Bone series is coming to Netflix. I will drop this, and there you go. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so excited for this. I'm not gonna lie, like, I have to admit, this is probably like unpopular opinion. I have to admit, the Gracia trilogy was okay. It wasn't like my favorite, but it wasn't like the worst. Like it sat in the middle for me. So if you did want to give the Gracia trilogy a read, I thought it was okay. And maybe it's because I read Six of Crows first, and that could be a problem. Like literally, like if you want to give both of these series a shot, like maybe read the Shadow and Bone series first before you get into Six of Crows, because I feel like that one was done well, but for her, this is her moneymaker. Like, this is what I am here for. I love Kaz Bleeker. Kaz Bleeker, oh my gosh. You guys, if I ever, like, there's some historicals where I see Kaz, and I see characters as Kaz Bleeker, and I'm like, he's a Kaz Bleeker. I love him. And, like, literally, I go along those lines of, like, who can measure up to Kaz Bleeker as, I want to say, like, a corrupt hero, like yeah, I think that's a corrupt hero. That's what I would like to say it as. Because, you know, like, how do they describe that? A villain hero? Like a villain / hero? I'm not sure how you would, like, help me out, people. I don't know how you would describe that. Like, put in the comments below, like, what is a hero that is also a villain? Like, not a villain, but like a crook and a convict, but he's a hero. Like, how would you help me out with describing that? If you know of any sort of ways to like describe a hero that has like multiple flaws, I guess, help me out there, please. And yeah, that is my TBR for FaRoFeb. I am so excited, guys, to see what you guys are going to be reading. Please put that in the comments below. Put in the comments below if there's something I should be reading, because here at the end of the day, of course, I'm picking up things that I've had on my TBR for a while and things that are coming out in the next couple of months. But if I'm missing something, please let me know, because I am here for it. Like, I love fantasy romance so much, and I feel like fantasy romance has been, like, for me, really difficult to find when I first started reading it. Like, it was not easy to like track that down. Like, you had to read multiple things, and some other fantasy I read didn't have any romance in it. Like, I tell people when they read Fable, just to let you know, the romance is like a secondary side plot to the side plot. Like, it's not a main thing. So like for me, fantasy romance, it's becoming bigger now, so it's a little easier to find, but finding the right mix of fantasy and romance, because they could have an awesome romance in there, but then the fantasy element is lacking. So I feel like just finding that balance. So yeah, I would love to hear what you guys are reading. And yeah, if you like more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And as always, you guys are fabulous and I love you all. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, we'll talk soon. Bye guys.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me.